Any questions?
Yeah, you showed the chart on the savings that you could achieve based on roll. I assume that was a snapshot in time. I can't remember.
It's based on the DICE. We did a baseline on the DICE 2010 survey that just came out about a month ago. So if you go to dice.com, you can actually pull the rates out and see what the salaries are, and that's the current averages, I believe, that we are showing now. Now, DICE has got multi-year trending, I believe, in their stuff. I think they go back to 2007. If I remember
That's what I was wondering. Have we seen those trends? Is there a trend of wage increase in rural areas as well, like India, or is it relatively?
Absolutely. It's part of the DICE report. If you go and download the report that Mark's talking about, it shows you the increase in salaries.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. If you look in the same report, if you take a look at New York, which is kind of at one end of the spectrum, and you take a look at Pittsburgh, which is at the other end of the spectrum. I don't know why Pittsburgh's being picked on. But what you will see is that the trending in the smaller areas is not at the same rate of acceleration. So what was, pick a number, $60,000 3 years ago, maybe it's $63,000 today versus New York, which may have been at $70,000 and maybe $110,000 today. Unfortunately, I can't remember the numbers, but I can tell you that, yeah, is there a certain amount of inflation and salary increase? Absolutely. Is it the same level that we were seeing at 10-15% over the years in India?
Not at all. And in some labor categories, they actually show you the year-over-year decrease in average salary in the U.S.
Yeah.
What kind of consulting rate can a company expect if they were to use a consultant like that?
Go ahead.
Rates. Rates, depending on what you're looking for.
Well, of course.
That's okay. Can vary anywhere from around $40 an hour on a consultancy basis to $75 and on up, depending on the unique skills. But for the right side of the chart, you tend to be on the lower end of the spectrum than you do on the left side of the chart. So where there is volume and there's capacity, fairly attractive consulting, and we're not talking salary now, we're talking consulting rates, which is our burden cost to offer a service outside of
And in that regard, what kind of salary would that kind of professional expect to make?
Well, I think you can see the salaries there. They were on that chart. If you take a look at it, it will give you an idea based on what the DICE things are. But in India, you're paying $8 to $12 an hour. Burden cost will go between $12 to $17 an hour if you're a multinational company that's invested in hiring folks in India. Here, our rates are substantially, they're not all that far away. They are more, but not that far. I mean, you can actually look at the data and figure it out.
And obviously it depends on the kind of work that you're putting into a particular engagement. We don't, in our environment, I'll speak for cyber, we don't quote individual consulting rates. It's an engagement with a team structure. So we have to understand what it is that you want us to deliver for you, the skill sets that are required to do that, and we put together the team solution for that, provide you with a blended rate. So, if we need to bring in one of the people down on the left end of that spectrum that's a very high cost person, we blend it with 8 lower level QA reps or programmer analysts, then you're going to wind up with that blended rate that you can focus in on a little bit better.
Yeah.
You mentioned 2 sites as examples, East Liverpool and 2 Rivers. What are the size of those sites? How many people, and what's the breakdown QA development of it?
Right now in the East Liverpool, I can speak to that. In the East Liverpool location, we have seats to go up to 700 in East Liverpool. We are still breaking the first 100 barrier. Okay, so we're as far as the kind of roles that are in there, we're split about 50-50 between QA and testing services and application development.
Our firm's a little bit different when I talk about brick and mortar versus virtual. We're based on a virtual model. To us, 2 Rivers is really more of a sales center and a positioning center, so it gets us into Wisconsin and gives us a presence in Wisconsin. If you take a look at our nationwide sales, or our nationwide delivery force, it's a little north of 300 right now. And we're a relatively, quite like I said, we've been around less, 15 months now. So, any other questions? I'm sorry.
Good time for one more.
Oh, one more, sure.
Is there a certain size project that's too small? For example, if I had a 500-hour project that I think I need to get outsourced, is that something too small, or where do you?
Yeah, there's definitely two different answers here. One, for Marty, I believe that would be a great opportunity to engage Marty. A 500-hour project for us would be too small. We're looking for engagements, development centers. We're looking for QA and testing, outsourcing. So it has to be a larger critical mass to be worth setting up that facility and going through the knowledge acquisition and transition, put it into East Liverpool. It wouldn't do you any good with that 500-hour project. We're not going to bring a lot of benefit to it.
But if you had the resources already.
Sure. The one-off stuff, if we were going to build a relationship and it's worth spending the time together to build that relationship, yeah, but that's not kind of our core business model. And I just want to be upfront about that.
Yeah, and our business model is different. That's why we emphasize the brick and mortar versus virtual. We do tend to take on those particular size of opportunities, and our projects are, they range from relatively small engagements to the multi-$100,000 engagements. It's a little bit different in the way we deliver services than Don is, but again, it's the same talent, the same class of people, just a slightly different business. So for us, it wouldn't be too small. Were there any other questions?
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate it.